guys, it's Mark with Exotic Car Play Place, and today I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Do you need an extended warranty on your used car? Obviously, when you're buying a car new, like a BMW or a Porsche, you're buying the car new, the finance department's always going to get you directed into a position where that you feel obligated lots of times to extend and buy an extended warranty. That's one of the first things new car sales, electronic sales is going to do, is try to hit you up for an extended warranty. Is an extended warranty always the best way to go? Well, when you're driving a BMW, it's even more critical to consider the highs and the lows. Is it important to have an extended warranty when you drive a used BMW? Obviously, when you're buying a car new, it's not a real concern for the first 3 years, 4 years, maybe even 5 years, depending on the car's warranty. But if you're buying a used BMW, because a lot of people do, and obviously there's a lot of great value in buying a used BMW because they're so expensive when they're new, you can buy such great value as a used car. But be careful, there's pitfalls. And it depends on the type of BMW that you're searching for. Do you need that extended warranty? So today we're going to talk about that. I do also want to address one question. So I've had people in the past, guys, ask me, what is the coverage you have? Obviously, for those of you guys who have followed my channel, you'll know that I have a couple of BMWs. I have a 2009 BMW X5 diesel, and I also have a 2006 BMW M5 E60. That's the hot rod that has the V10 engine and the SMG transmission. Now, sadly enough, it's also not BMW's highlight for reliability, but I have a couple of their oddball cars that they created in their day that had some real benefits in owning them. So, that being said, let's move right along. We're going to be talking about the BMW ownership today and if you need a warranty. So, ask yourself, how much are you going to be using that car? How many kilometers are you going to be using it in a year? Is it a summer car only, or do you use this vehicle all year round? These are some basic questions you will probably want to ask yourself. Also ask yourself, if they're offering me an extended warranty, if there are extended warranties available, how much are these warranties in cost? Because obviously you want to balance the cost of an ownership if you have to pay for repairs yourself, and you want to balance that with the potential cost of an outright payment on your extended warranty contract. So you got to want to balance that out. Now you got to look at the car you're buying. Now consider this. If you're buying a BMW 320, for example, it's actually a very basic vehicle. It's got an inline 6-cylinder, and I'm talking about kind of the slightly previous generations, but you're buying more of a base inline 6-cylinder car. Maybe it has a manual transmission. Well, we all know manual transmissions are quite robust. Yes, the clutches wear, but guess what? Often clutches don't get covered by extended warranties. Also, brakes rarely get covered by extended warranties. So if you think that you're going to be covered there, in most cases you are wrong, and you better find the fine print on that contract, or ask those questions before you even pay for that extended warranty. Things like struts and shocks and all that kind of fun stuff also potentially is not covered under extended warranty. That's because these things are all wear items. And most warranty vendors are going to protect themselves from wear and tear items. They're usually not going to cover, light bulbs, burnt out tail lights. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Some of these warranties are bumper to bumper, and some of them are very narrow and basically limited to just the basic fundamentals on the drivetrain protection. So consider, when you own a BMW, there's often a lot of things to consider. And obviously, a 320, for example, with a manual transmission is a very basic car. Now, if a warranty contract is offered to you, say for $2,000, consider to yourself, is that good value? Is that money well spent? Well, think about the things. If you're driving a manual transmission and you're not abusive to the car, generally the manual gearboxes don't break. They're a very simple animal. Automatic transmission, is there a history in this car, in this brand? Maybe do a little research. Check the Lemonade guidebooks out there. That's going to give and shed some light. Even look at the forums. They're going to shed some light on reliability concerns for particular brands. So before you commit, do your research, check what are the concerns for that particular model you're looking at. Now, if you have a car like an E60 M5 like I have, that car, there's people that have quoted saying it has more computing power than the space shuttle from NASA. Is that right? Is that wrong? It doesn't really matter. The point is that we're trying to make is that car is very complex, has a lot of very expensive parts, and of course, it's a very low production number car in terms of the drivetrain. For example, the engine was derived from a Formula One Williams team. Essentially, it is a very high performance engine with a lot of very high performance and unique components. So parts like that can get very expensive. Another thing with the E60 M5, we talk about the SMG transmission. That's your sequential transmission that they talk about, the 7-speed gearbox that's operated via paddle shifts. That has another known issue, for example, the SMG pump. So, those are a couple of classic examples. The differential is also a known weak point in those cars. So consider those factors. Now, rumor has it, if the motor goes on an M5, I've heard people, unfortunately, I'm hopefully never have to experience that myself. I do happen to have the extended warranty, and I'll share with you momentarily what make that is that I have. But I'm going to share with you some of the things that my extended warranty covers. But before we get into that, I've heard that the E60 M5 engine, if it grenades, which is not likely, it's a well-constructed motor. That being said, there's known bearing issues. That's one of the known issues with that car. Rod bearings. Crankshaft and rod bearings are a potential problem. Now, obviously, some warranties will cover that and some warranties won't. But consider those factors. If that engine grenades, I've heard horror stories of getting an entire engine from BMW to replace for your E60 going upwards in the cost of about $40,000 for a new engine. Now, this is off topic. Consider a Lamborghini. Here's another one. Lamborghini Gallardo. I've heard of people having engines spin a bearing or the engine grenades there too, and they've found themselves having to buy a used engine off of the internet. It's always a bit of a gamble buying used parts, of course, like that, especially an engine. But guys picking up a used Lambo engine for $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 US. That's not cheap. So in instances like this, it is possibly good value added to consider an extended warranty. Now, if you're driving a Toyota Corolla and it's a manual transmission, those things have 105 horsepower. They're not a powerful car, okay? A lot of the parts are over-engineered. They're under-stressed. And so at the end of the day, a car like that typically is also very cheap to maintain and repair. Therefore, would you put an extended warranty on a car like a Toyota Corolla? That's a question you have to ask yourself. Is that value added? Depending on the cost of the contract, of course. And an E60 M5, the contract that I have happens to cost a significant amount of money. So if you're buying a fully covered extended warranty for a 3, 4, 5-year plan for an E60 M5, consider this: $5,000, $6,000, possibly more. That's the kind of money you're looking at investing in the extended warranty. Is it worth it? Based on a lot of the forum subscribers out there, I would say absolutely. On an E60 M5, there's definitely many good reasons for having an extended warranty. Now, that being said, everything's a gamble. People drive down the road every day in their cars with, unfortunately, we share the road with people that have no vehicular insurance, no liability. They drive down the road, and that's a gamble. The flip side is that's held to a legality. That's held to a legal standard, whereas a car extended warranty isn't. But the similar risk applies. You crash your car, that's your protection. Your transmission blows up, warranty is your protection. So consider that. What is the cost of replacement parts on the BMW or any other car that you're looking at? That's the main thing that you have to consider. So I'm going to share with you guys the coverage that I have on my E60. And I hope this helps shed a little light on it for you, because when I bought the car, that was one selling feature. I actually bought the car. The previous owner decided to take the plunge and spend the several $1,000 tab to upgrade the extended warranty. He was going to use that as a selling feature. So I actually bought the car with a freshly enabled extended warranty that happened to be bumper to bumper. He got the full ultimate package on this particular warranty, and I felt very relieved that I had the next several years covered and protected from any of those weird incidental mechanical failures. So, you guys all wonder, what type of coverage do I have on the M5? Well, let's share that with you right now. Now, this is not a promotion for the brand. What I have is this Coverage 1. This is the product that I'm using. GMAC is the supporter of that. Now, as you'll notice, this is also the Ultimate. Now, what I have is a package of Coverage 1. So this is the brand, of course, and here is the list of items that you may be covered and items that you may not be covered. And so I'm going to review, I'll give you a few quick examples. What I will say is, because I have the Ultimate package, there's no better coverage. You cannot get a higher level of coverage through this particular vendor, which is GMAC. Now, I've got the top coverage, which happens to be everything in green on the right-hand side. Covers everything. You'll notice it's all green, all covered, all covered, all covered, okay? The only thing it does not cover, and this is the top package, remember, is struts, shocks, and strut mounts. So that's the only thing that's not covered. That's a pretty good gamble. So having this coverage gives you a real peace of mind, knowing that if you're driving this car spirited, that you're not going to worry about the gearbox blowing apart. You're not going to worry about a bearing problem. You're not going to worry about any of these significant issues. Now, other advantages in buying a warranty happens to be around the extras. I mean, we all know that warranties are designed to protect you from mechanical failures. But some warranties also give you roadside assistance. Some of these warranties also give you rental cars for free while your car is in the shop or broken down. A lot of these extras are also included in a lot of these coverages. And so there's various reasons why you would engage in an aftermarket warranty. But just be very careful with that, because read the fine print, understand the limitations, also understand because some warranties are transferable to the next owner, which could be a selling feature, and other warranties are not transferable, and sometimes it stops with you, the current owner who purchases that warranty. So consider all those factors. Consider the cost of replacement parts on that car. We all know, you watch the forums, the E60 M5 is notorious for failures, and it's notorious for high dollar failures, which adds to that extra level of necessity when you're considering buying that warranty. So let's talk about a few things. I mean, we look at air conditioning, everything, every part of this, compressors, condensers, everything's covered here. We talk about electrical failures, switches, modules, sensors, everything's protected here, okay? Then we talk about fuel delivery. We got fuel pump, vacuum pump, fuel sending tank, everything, okay? Then we talk about upper and lower control arms. These are almost wear items, but we got ball joints. That's for sure a wear item. You put enough miles on it, but the warranty's only covered, of course, for 80,000 kilometers in this case, or X amount of years. So obviously, they have a lot of faith in the construction of that car. And being a BMW, they're usually well made. Then we talk about, we have suspension stuff, heating, enhanced electrical stuff like door lock actuators, headlight lamp motors. We have electronic instrument clusters. The list goes on and on. Of course, we have motors, transmission, everything in the transmission here, flex plates, oil pans, seals, gaskets, transmission assembly, You have vacuum modulators and transmission parts, everything on the internal side of that. And of course on the engine side of this as well. Steering, brakes. A lot of extended warranties do not cover wear items like brakes. In this case it does. And that covers brake cylinders, master cylinders, accumulators, valves, gaskets, sensors, all that stuff. It doesn't look like they cover the liners, the pads, and the rotors. But again, you know what? That's some of the fine print you want to investigate. What it does do, in the motor section here, it actually does cover, it specifies, covers rod bearings, crankshafts, pistons, all of that stuff is covered under this warranty, which is great because that's a notorious failure point on the E60 M5 is the rod bearings. So when you're looking at buying that used BMW, everybody, consider the warranty. I'm not saying it's always the best value. Look at the dollar cost to purchase the warranty. Look at the cost of maintenance on these cars. Consider that balance. Weigh that balance. If you have an item that's going to cost you easily, you have several items that might cost you $5,000 or more, you might want to consider that warranty. If you're driving a car that has an entire engine replacement you know can be done for $3,000 or $4,000, probably not worth your time. Even at, a $500 extended warranty, it may not be necessarily the money best spent because it's probably a fairly inexpensive vehicle to run. But we're not talking about an inexpensive vehicle. We're talking about BMWs today because all BMWs are pricey. Some BMWs are very pricey. And just do your research. Understand the failure modes. Understand the balance, the cost of the purchase of that warranty. And after you've considered all those factors, understand that that is only going to protect you for that limited time frame. You drive for 2 years, you buy an extended warranty for 2 years, nothing happens, you feel the worst. You feel like you wasted your money. But in that 2-year time frame, you go for a drive, you have a major mechanical breakdown, you sure feel pretty good about having that warranty now, right? So, guys, that's all I have for today. Please do consider it. I've had people ask me, what kind of warranty do I have? Well, this hopefully answers your question. Yes, there is warranty on that M5. And it's something that really was a selling feature for me when I bought the car used, because I did buy it used. I bought the car with 30,000 kilometers on it, but because it was an '06, I had it a few years now. It was outside of its typical factory warranty. We had to get an extension on this warranty, just basically to make sure that we had full coverage. That was a choice the previous owner made, and I'm sure glad he did, because that's actually the selling feature. That's why we ended up buying this car. So everybody, I hope you liked that video, and please make sure you do subscribe, like, comment, and share with all your friends. Don't be shy. Make sure you pass this along, because this doesn't just apply to BMWs. You have a friend that drives a Mustang, you have a friend that drives a Honda, maybe a Nissan GTR. You have friends that drive any of these cars. They're always going to have to consider extended warranties. Unless you're buying the car new, extended warranty should always be in the back of your mind, unless you're a very good wrench yourself, and the parts generally are very inexpensive on that particular car. So thanks again, everybody. Please do come back for the next one, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.